All right. First of all, I thought it was a very competitive basketball game. Having played them there, and then they come back, like a true round robin. They play a team twice. I thought our guys were really focused, and I give them credit for the way they started the game, the way they started the second half. I thought they did some really good things. They're a difficult team to play against with their activity, the way they guard, with their experience on the floor. And so I give my guys a lot of credit for, continuing to compete and finding ways to be successful on the court. And I thought it was a great team effort. I thought our guys did a really good job. We know DJ scored 36 on senior night, which is a special night, a night that none of us will ever forget. But I thought a lot of guys as teammates made a lot of plays throughout the game to help us. And that's what you need to win in this conference. You need guys stepping up and making plays, and you need your experienced guys like DJ leading the way, like him and Keyshawn.
It's on that note, what can you say about DJ having that sort of night in his final home game here, just kind of a dream performance?
No, absolutely. I thought it was, one of those nights, like I said, it was a magical night. I thought the way he carried himself, from yesterday's practice, the last practice before senior night, to our shoot around today. I thought he had a lot of mixed emotions, and a lot of things going through his head. But I'm very proud of how he stepped up and he led his team today. He was terrific.
Coach, talk about your emotions seeing his performance, setting a career high in his final home game here at UCF.
You know what? Definitely. I was emotional because I'd seen what he's gone through the whole 4 years he's been here. His commitment to our program, his commitment to UCF. Nowadays, young man stayed the entire time, and just really proud that he ended on such a really good note. A win on senior night that's, like I said, will be remembered for a long time. I think he and Jermaine Taylor maybe have that record on senior night with 36 points. That's a special evening, and to 36 and to win, that's something, like I said, you remember for the rest of your life.
Coach, oftentimes this season you've said that Darius is an extension of yourself on the floor, that he knows exactly what you want. What are you going to miss the most about having him on this team? I know the season isn't over yet, but as it's coming to an end, what will you miss the most about Darius?
I'll just miss his competitiveness, his will. I mean, he's a real fiery, feisty player. But I love that about him. I think I said that before because you need that. He's going to challenge his teammates. He's going to have high expectations for his teammates and for himself. And he's the ultimate competitor. As you see, he gives you pretty much everything he has on the court when he plays. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and so you can see who he is all the time. And there's nothing fake about that young man. What you see is what you get. And that's the thing I've really enjoyed, watching him, through these 4 years.
Coach, you guys went to the half down 5. What was the message coming in the second half that led to that offensive explosion?
We just talked about the things we had to clean up. We had to defend better. We didn't think we were defending at the level we needed to in the first half. We gave them, we turned the ball over too many times. They were able to get out, and they're very, very good, scoring off your turnovers. So if you get any live ball turnovers, you're going to pay. We learned that from the first game, and we tried to avoid it this game, and they still did it in the first half. I think they had 16 points off of turnovers in the first half. And, they have a 5-point lead, but 16 came off of that. So we were trying to cut that down because we knew that would cut down on some of the opportunities to score. And so that's kind of was our mindset in the second half, and we wanted to continue to attack the glass. We thought if we could do that, it would put some pressure on them, and maybe they couldn't get out and run as much.
Piggybacking off that, Coach, how do you respond to – how do you make up from losing the turnover battle like that? Like, how do you overcome that in order to get a win and pull out a win, even though losing the points on turnover battle?
I think we overcame it by what we did rebounding. I think we had 15 offensive rebounds, which was good for us. That led to 15 second chance points. So you combine that with, they scored 25 off turnovers, so they got a plus 10 in that area. But I thought that kind of helped combat what they were doing, the fact that we were able to, get second chance opportunities, putbacks, and or, new possessions.
Coach, you've talked about guys needing to step up. Niels almost has a double-double tonight, 9 points, 8 rebounds, leads you in plus-minus. What did you see out of him tonight?
I thought he was terrific. He's getting more and more comfortable. And, Niels is a good basketball player. I think he showed it again tonight. He made a lot of really good plays for us. He's a versatile guard. He's like a combo guard. He can play the 1. He can play some 2. He got good size, so he can make plays, like you said, by rebounding the basketball. And I was just happy to see him out there just competing and making plays to help his team.
Coach, how's it going, man? So, obviously, Darius, having a phenomenal night, man. How he was as a team, as a leader for the younger guys coming in for next year, moving forward?
I think he's been really good. I think he's given them great advice, about our culture, and understanding what it takes to be successful, and just how fast your career goes by. He spoke to the team, today after we finished playing, and one of the last things he said was just how fast it goes by. He can remember coming in and moving into the dorm to now he's, his career is over here. That was his last home game. So, I think those guys heard him, and they're going to take that to heart and understand how they have to take advantage of each day, because that's how important it is and that's how fast it goes by. You can't waste days. I mean, your college experience flies by, and I think he gave him a piece of good advice when he said that.
As you mentioned, he's a 4-year player here. He's played over 100 games for this program. In the landscape of college sports, do you feel like we're going to see really any of that at some point, or what's it going to take to have a guy be a real program leader the way he's been?
Well, I think you're still going to see it some. It's going to be rare. One, if a father's coaching his son, it'd be awful hard for him to leave. but also, it'll be a few guys that are just, unique, uncommon players that will do that. But it's going to be really rare. And so you have to cherish those moments, when that happens. And he's one of those players, and that's why I think those guys should be celebrated for the commitments they've made at one university. It's not as if last year when he averaged over 15, 16 points in the Big 12, he didn't have options to go other places in the age of the portal. He could have done that easily. Just the nature of where our game is. But for him, he was loyal. This is where he started, of course. His dad and I go all the way back to elementary school, and and so he, made the right choice. He stayed with us.
Hi, Coach. You guys thrived via the 3-ball tonight. In the first half, you weren't really shooting great, but the second half, you guys shot 6 for 12, 50%. Talk us through, what it's like having good shooters like DJ on your team.
Well, it's important. In this day and age of basketball, where the 3-ball is so prevalent, you need guys that can spread the floor and knock down shots. The offense is hard when everyone's collapsing and don't have to worry about you being able to knock down threes. So you want to be able to spread the floor. We have a number of guys that are capable of shooting the basketball, and that helps us generate offense, because for our guys like DJ who can get to the paint, guys like Keyshawn can get to the paint, you need guys that can space it so that they have room to work, and we have some guys that are capable of doing that.
Johnny, you guys have one more regular season game left this weekend, and then you guys have a short turnaround heading into the Big 12 tournament. Do you feel like you guys are playing a lot better basketball than you were maybe a month ago?
No, absolutely. I think we're playing better for sure. I mean, I thought the TCU game was tough, but you have a game where you go out there, they're very, very good there. They very rarely lose. I think they've lost 3 games all year, in TCU. And we didn't have our best foot forward. I mean, Keyshawn he struggled the most in that game of all the games he's had this season. He goes 3 for 17, 7 turnovers. And that happens with college players, even pros. I mean, you have nights where it's just not your night. And so it's tough to win on the road anyway, and it's really tough to win on the road as one of your best players and your leading scorer is just having a tough night. So, I'm glad we were able to kind of flush it, and that, let that just dwell, day after day. We're able to move on to the next play, which is, Oklahoma State. I think you saw our guys, how we moved on, and that's important because sometimes it just doesn't fall your way. But I thought our guys bounced back well, and we have been playing. I think our last 3 out of 4 games we've won, and I think we've played better during that stretch, and now we have to continue that.
Coach, with it being senior night, you have, of course, a senior in Jalen Sellers, who's been out for a while with injury. What's his status for right now, and considering his length of time as a medical red shirt an option at this point, or what can you say about that?
Still day to day with Jalen. He hadn't played, so I'm sure a medical red shot. I'm sure a medical red shirt can be, in play for him when that time comes. But right now, he's still, day to day.
Coach, speaking about injury updates, we saw Mikey Williams on crutches before the game. What's his status, and did he get injured in practice?
Yes, he got injured in practice, and he's still, he's going to be out for some games. I mean, I'm not sure when he'll return, but he'll end up being fine. I don't know the timetable of when he would be back.
What about Jordan Ivy Curry? I know he's been dealing with something. He didn't dress out tonight. Is he in the same predicament?
He's exactly in the same predicament. He's been battling, and to his credit, he's been battling probably for the last 3 or 4 weeks. But right now he's at a point where, he couldn't continue, and so he's going to be out. I'm not sure of his timetable as well, other than to say, day to day, depends on, how it feels. But, we miss those guys. We need everyone. And but, I'm glad we've had guys, step up like Tyler, like Niels. These guys have stepped up, Dior off the bench at the guard spot that have helped us, continue to be competitive.
Johnny, when you look at Darius, what do you think his legacy will be here at UCF when it's all said and done?
I think his legacy will be more than the wins and losses. I know that. I think he's won more than he's lost here for sure. But, I think he's taken us to, at least one or two NIT tournaments. So he's taken us to postseason, albeit not where, we want to be, of course, an NCAA perennial team. But he's led us to winning seasons. He's the starting point guard that led us into the Big 12, and so I think that's something that you'll remember. And then I think he'll always be remembered in the community for how he's represented UCF. He'll be remembered in our community and on campus for who he's been as a young man. And that's going to be the most important thing for his life at the end of the day, because this thing ends for all of us really quick. But, it's leaving your legacy in other ways. And I think he's done that, with the people, the friendships he's been able to develop, with the people around him in the community that really appreciated, him making sacrifices and commitments to be at different functions and spending time with people. So when I see him, I think I see a guy who is leaving his legacy in a number of ways.
Coach, you guys haven't won a road game since January 14th. You're 0-6 in that stretch. Now you face a tough West Virginia team. What's it going to take to put together a winning performance in Morgantown?
Well, we're going to have to, play well. We have to hopefully get off to a good start. First of all, I think we got to get off to a good start, which means we can settle into the game and then play our style. And that's what happens. And sometimes on the road, you end up going on the road, and if you get down early or, you turn it over and give them easy baskets, they're feeding off that. They get a lot of momentum. We need to make sure we take care of the basketball, get off to a sound start. Usually taking care of the basketball and rebounding, you give yourself a chance. And so we need to make sure we take care of the basketball, defend and rebound.
Coach, on a lighter note, Darius said when he woke up this morning he knew he was going to have a great game. Did you guys talk about maybe him putting up more shots? Did you greenlight him for anything, or did he just take command?
No, I didn't. The main thing I want Darius to always be, and I think he's at his best when he's aggressive, when he's attacking. And so I'm always encouraging him to be aggressive and attack, and then play off of whatever happens with that, because he'll make a good decision with the ball, majority of the time. So that's the main thing I try to always impart with him. Just be aggressive, attack, play your game. Don't get caught up in playing. He's not a pure point guard. It's just facilitating. That's not who he is. So you don't have to be. Be the best version of yourself. He has good instincts when he does, play that way. And so that's all I encourage him to do.
Did you see a performance like this coming from him tonight?
I couldn't say I saw a performance like this coming from him, no. But I was hopeful that, I know what he's capable of. It doesn't surprise me that he was able to do this, because I've seen him now for 4 years. And so it doesn't surprise me. I just, you just don't know when it's going to happen. Time for a few more.
Coach, we saw the end where Darius subbed you out. Just what was going through your mind when he came up to kind of dap you up there as he was coming off of the court one last time here?
Just a special moment, between the coach and the player, and someone I've watched, grow up his entire life. Just to have that moment on senior night, to walk off that floor knowing, hey, we won on our night. It just was a great feeling. It's kind of emotional for me, because I just was really proud of, the effort that he put forth and for us to get that win.
Coach, kind of following up on that, you talked about your relationship with Kelvin, and you've seen Darius grow up. What's kind of been this process like with you as Darius's college career comes to an end?
Well, he's in a tough situation, no different than my own son was, because obviously we're harder on those guys, in every sense of the word. We're harder on them with what we're doing, the expectations we have for them, because everyone's watching. If it's your son or it's your godson, everyone is, so you're really hard on them. So it's probably unfair to them to some extent, being in those situations, but but both of them been able to handle it. Like Darius has handled it very, very well, and he's led really well, considering the pressures that he's under because of his father and his godfather on the bench coaching him.
How is your son Aubrey, by the way? You mentioned Aubrey. Is he doing good?
Aubrey's doing well. Aubrey's playing. Yeah, Aubrey was playing. He's in Germany right now. So he's playing. Yeah, he's enjoying his experience. I just spoke to him a couple of days ago. He was in good spirits. They're doing well. So I'm happy for him.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
All right, guys.
Right now.
He did get engaged. Oh, really? Okay. All right, DJ, it was your senior night, and I guess it was fitting for you to have a career high in points. When did you feel it that you were going to have a night? Was it kind of in that second half when you're down by 10 and you kind of realized you had to take this game over to win it?
Honestly, I kind of knew like all along when I woke up this morning. You know, like I said, I'm a firm believer in the man above. You know, I've put a lot of time into this game. I've sacrificed a lot, and I knew he was going to come through for me tonight. So.
Darius, how does it feel just to end the season finale, the home season finale, with your senior night and just ending it like magically with a career high game?
I mean, honestly, can you ask for a better way to end it? I mean, that was the perfect ending. You know, we haven't had the season that we wanted to have as a team, but you know, the guys tonight, we came out and fought for each other. You know, the guys to the left of me, to the right of me, they did it for the seniors. So you know, I'm super proud of them. You know, I told the guys in the locker room, you know, just keep this train rolling. You know, the season's not over yet. We still can make a way when there is no way. So, you know, let's just keep pushing through the adversity we're going through.
Darius, I know you're focused on the road ahead, and you talked about it a lot this week. But now that you've played this game and played the way you did, what is your emotional state right now? And just kind of take me through what it means to be at this point in your career with the Knights.
You know, I'm super excited, ecstatic. Honestly, I feel like I left a footprint here at UCF. You know, it's rare to see guys stay at a university for 4 years, and you know, to leave here, you know, and come back one day and remember I had 36 on my senior night. You know, last time I played in this building it's going to be a great story to tell. So I'm super excited. You know, I'm going to live in the moment for right now, but you know, once 12 o'clock hits, we got to get focused on the next game ahead of us.
Darius, before the game started, they showed a video of you as a freshman, just training. Has it kind of hit you that this is your last game in Addition Financial Arena yet?
Oh yeah, it hit me. It's been hitting me throughout the past week, honestly. You know, just by little remarks that people have been saying. So you know, I've just been trying to embrace it. You know, try to embrace all the relationships that I have right now. You know, the support staff, the coaching staff. You know, everyone that I've met here. You know, including you guys. You know, all the relationships that I've had. I'm gonna truly cherish these throughout the rest of my life, and I'm glad I made the decision to come to UCF and stay here for 4 years.
Darius, I don't know if you heard them, but the student section at some points during the game were chanting DJ, like DJ, DJ. Only one other UCF athlete has had that type of honor this season. What was it? I don't know if you heard it, but what does it mean to you to have the student section, Knight Nation, behind you, at least in that manner, in your last game here?
Honestly, it means a lot from them. You know, I commend them for, you know, coming out on a Wednesday night to come support UCF. You know, we struggled a little bit this season, but you know, for their continuous support, I'm super grateful for them, especially coming out on senior night and, you know, chanting my name. You know, it means a lot to me personally. You know, it means I was able to do something special here and leave my mark on, you know, the university and the people around here.
Darius, where does game rank for you all time?
This game rank?
Yeah.
I'll probably have to say this top two, not two. Top two, not two.
DJ, what did this one feel like? Obviously, you started out a little rough. You had 3 early turnovers, but you kept going and you finished amazingly. How did this game, you know, really affect you, and how did you stay calm?
You know, I just got to stay composed. You know, it's my last time here. You know, I went through a little bit of adversity, you know, turning the ball over, you know, something I've struggled with. So, you know, I just had my teammates, you know, they always have my back to tell me just keep my head up, next play, don't worry about it. You know, and that's what they're for. That's what they did. They built me up when I was getting a little down on myself. So, you know, I'm super thankful for them. If it wasn't for them, I don't think I would have had the night I had tonight.
Benny, Mo, how's it going? You know, obviously it's going to be the last game playing with this floor general and DJ, man. How's it feel, you know, playing with him all season long? You know, he's finding you guys. You know, he's just being the point guard that he is.
Sure, it was a dream come true for me. Coming from the DMV area, I always wanted to play with a guard like Darius, who's a great leader on and off the court, can make things happen. So, I mean, shoot, it's been a up and down season for us, but like you said, we still got a lot of things to do, a lot of things to take care of.
Yeah, I mean, you've been amazing, man. I'm just grateful to be around him. You know, coming out here as a freshman, he guided me, giving me a lot of advice, and you know, since then he's been just telling me, keep your head up, keep playing. You know what I'm saying? Just keep leading us, everybody on the team. So I'm just grateful to be around him. Yeah.
Benny, Coach Dawkins has talked about how, despite you being a senior, you haven't played a lot of basketball. You've gotten to play this entire season in a big role. What's it kind of been like what have you taken from this season?
Sure, I've learned a lot of life lessons this season, especially off the court. Dawkins is more than a basketball coach for us. He's a life coach. Honestly, can't even say that I'll be in this mental state without him right now. So I'm very grateful for him.
Darius, the Cowboys ended up handily winning the turnover battle. You ended up getting 25-3 on points off of turnovers. How are you guys able to respond to that and overcome that?
Honestly, that's something that we do struggle with when we play them at their place. I don't think we did a great job of that, our turnovers. And on top of that, they capitalized off of that. So, that's something we went into the game plan and tried to limit. But, that's something we have to work on. We turned it over way too much and allowed them to capitalize on it.
How do you overcome that tonight, though?
We won the game in other areas. We were able to out-rebound them 50-26. We made a lot of key plays. We were able to, get to the foul line a lot, put the pressure on the defense. So, that was a good thing. And we had a lot of guys step up and make big plays. Not only was it me or Keyshawn, but everyone contributed to the win. That's what we need moving forward. It's a lot in basketball. That's not about scoring. Scoring is only a small proportion of the game. There's so many other things that you could be doing out there. Whether it's rebounding, whether it's defending, 50-50 balls, making other guys better, just even being a leader or being an energy guy. It's just so many other things rather than just putting the ball in the hole.
Darius, we asked you about kind of the performance during the game. Before the game, you held your framed jersey up over your head, got a good look at the whole arena. You were out there with your parents. Take us through kind of the moments there and what sticks out to you through that whole senior night celebration pregame.
Honestly, it was a lot of emotions, happy, sad. It's my time here has come to an end. I was telling the guys in the locker room, to make sure you cherish all of these moments, cherish the time you have, the relationships that you have, because, this time goes by so fast. Like, I remember walking in, moving in as a freshman, having my first workout, my first game, and then now I look back on it, and it's like in the blink of an eye, I'm finishing up here at UCF. So, just making sure that they leave their mark. Every time you go on the court, how do you want to be remembered?
Benny, you just talked about, what Coach Dawkins means to you. Can you just kind of expand on that? You said he's kind of more than a basketball coach. He's a life coach. Like, what kind of impact has he had on you?
Just how to carry yourself as a man. Watching him, how he conducts himself every day, day in and day out. It's the same thing. He says the same things. He preaches the same things. Acts the same way. So, just great example of a man to look to, sure.
Benny, Moustapha, neither of you were available for the road game at Oklahoma State. They went on to score 104 points. Was this game kind of one that you wanted to show your worth?
I mean, yeah, because last time we went there, obviously they scored a lot of points. So when I know that we're gonna play them against, I was like, yeah, that game I gotta contribute defensively and try to help my team win.
Yeah, watching that game, obviously they scored a lot of points, but like Moustapha said, just my main goal every game is just to come in and impact. Just like Darius just said, like scoring isn't everything. So whether that's blocking shots, rebounding, getting assists, just looking for ways to impact the game.
Benny, you were also honored tonight. What did it mean for you pregame to be out there with your family and just getting recognized for the player you are and the senior you are?
It meant a lot, especially after last year, what happened at Syracuse. Honestly, wouldn't even think I would be here. So for my grandfather, I think that was his second college game that he seen me play. So yeah, that was real special for me. Yeah.
Darius, with the game you had tonight, was it a bittersweet moment having against Marcellus Avery?
I feel like it was more of a sweet moment. Me and Chichi are good friends. We'll probably be good friends for a very long time. We were chatting a little bit back and forth. He was doing a little bit of chatting at Oklahoma State. So, I was a little disappointed in that loss up there. No excuses made. They got us, but I had to come back and return the favor for senior night.
That's all set.
Yes, sir.
Come on, bro. Watch out.
Congratulations to Coach Dawkins and his staff. Obviously, it's a heck of a senior night for him and his team. Marcus Johnson was nothing short of fabulous in the second half. And ultimately, we didn't rebound the ball at the level that we needed to, and we didn't play defense at the level that we needed to in order to figure out a way to win on the road. So hats off to them.
Coach, you guys had a halftime lead. You extended that all the way up to 10 points early in the second half. When did things start to get away from you? What did you see there, in that midpoint of the second half?
The biggest difference is they started getting to the free throw line, and they're scoring baskets when the clock is not moving. Obviously, I'll need to watch the film to be able to see where our defensive deficiencies lie. But, we're giving them free points, and then we're not boxing out and rebounding, and it just steamrolls.
Coach, you guys forced 9 turnovers in the second half, but it seems like you guys couldn't capitalize off of them as much. What was the issue with that?
Yeah, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't, right? Sometimes they're live ball turnovers that you can turn into points, and for some reason in the second half we didn't do a good job with that. Credit Central Florida for figuring out a way to get back and not giving up points off turnovers.
Coach, I know we're down to just one Big 12 game left. What do you guys hope to take into your regular season finale that you can learn from this?
Well, I'd like to think that this group of guys has enough character that they're going to really fight hard for their seniors. We took a lot of one-year transfers with this group in our first recruiting class, and I'd like to think that they're going to band together and make sure that we send them out the right way. At the end of the day, we played better basketball the month of February, and we had ourselves in a position at halftime in order to win this game, and we didn't get it done. But again, credit Central Florida and Darius Johnson. Darius Johnson had darn near as many points as our entire team in the second half. What a special night for him, and obviously his father's on the bench. I can only imagine how cool that was for them.
Coach, UCF out rebounded you 50-26, playing a lot of small ball lineups. What did they do to kind of take away the height advantage you had?
Yeah, they played small ball, so I wouldn't say that they did anything other than we did it to ourselves, right? Especially with those lineups that they had. We should have been able to box out our man one-on-one. But, there were several times where we're leaking out trying to run the floor on offense, and we don't have the ball, right? And that's an issue within our team more so than them doing anything schematically. Obviously, they spread the floor and they drove us. And then, when they drove and kicked, there were some long rebounds, which we didn't come up with. But credit them for hustling and getting those rebounds and making those plays. But, man, that's on us.
Coach, you had Brandon Newman tie with his second highest scoring game of the season with 13 points in just the first half alone. And he ended up finishing with 13 points, though. So how would you compare Newman's first half versus his second half and contributions in that?
Yeah, I thought Brandon did a good job rebounding for us in the second half. But, he had a couple open looks and he didn't make them. I'd have to watch the film to give you a little better answer, but, maybe Central Florida stayed closer to him. I don't really know, to be very frank.
You guys played UCF about 3 weeks ago, scored 104 points. Obviously, Moustapha Thiam didn't play in that game. How much does his presence change the game plan, or maybe leading up to the game and then on the fly?
Yeah, I like Thiam, right? I think he's a good player, and he's obviously a good rim protector. We did a good job at our place of turning defense into offense and forcing turnovers and getting baskets. Obviously one of you guys already pointed out that we didn't do that, especially in the second half. Again, the first time we played them without Thiam, we got into the paint and we kicked the ball out and we made some threes, and tonight we did not. But you've always got to know that he's there. He's someone that you have to understand that you don't have free looks at the basket. But to be very honest with you, I'm not trying to be funny. He had 3 blocks, but some of those other blocks those other guys had, those were impressive. I'm trying to think of was it Taylor or no? It was Hicks. Hendricks, man, he had a couple really impressive blocks.
And then one other question about Bryce Thompson. I know he had a career high against UCF in that game as well. Just foul trouble, is that what kind of kept him on the sidelines throughout the final 17 minutes of the half?
Yeah, I mean, he was in early on, and I don't usually play guys with 2 fouls in the first half, which is my philosophy. So he didn't get nearly as many minutes, and then when he came in the second half, he tried to force a couple, and they didn't go down, and next thing you know, you guys are making a run. So he just didn't. It just was not his night.
Hey, Coach, how's it going? So, yeah, you guys were very well, defensively in the first half. It's just kind of like UCF just kind of like to turn up the gas a little bit because you guys, points from turnovers, you guys were up 25-3. So is it just the main thing on defense? Just you got to worry about moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they almost shot 50% from the second half from the floor, and they shot 50% from the three, and then they shot 19 free throws to our 7. Right, and that's because we're fouling too much and we're not playing good enough defense. So those are all things that lie within our team and that are controllable by our guys. If you can do it the first 20 minutes, you should be able to do it for 40. But again, give Johnny and his team credit.
Coach, do you wish you doubled Darius earlier?
What's that?
Do you wish that you doubled Darius Johnson earlier?
I don't know. I need to watch the film. I mean, he's a good player. You double him, you're gonna give Hall another look, or you're gonna give those other guys another look. Tonight he was fabulous. So I don't know. I'll watch the film and I'll give it some thought. But right offhand, no.
Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, no problem, guys. Thank you.